Hello, friends. I am back to talk about transitions with your kids in this strange back to school season that is unprecedented for most of us. I think for all of us. I'm not sure there's anybody out there who's returning to what one would call a normal school year, so it is unprecedented for all of us. And what I want to talk about really quickly, I like to keep my videos short and sweet because who's got time for this, is mindset, which if you have anything to do with the wellness world, you would right now like to probably take my head and smash it against this camera for even saying the word mindset, because I feel like it's everywhere. It's in your Facebook feeds, it's in your Instagram feeds, it's in every email you get. It's talking about your mindset. And I agree, it's tiresome and annoying sometimes, but also I've really noticed both with myself, my children, and my clients recently that it is massively important right now. Let me tell you a story. Yesterday, I woke up kind of ready to have a good day, actually. I was like, okay, I've decided, I made the shift somewhere in the middle of the night. I made the shift to, guess what? We are no longer in crisis mode. This is, although it feels like a crisis, we're no longer in crisis mode. This time is what is normal right now. What's happening right now with schools and online and offline and partial and hybrid and all these other new words we have is what's happening right now, whether I like it or not. And I could go kicking and screaming into the night and fight it and resist it and curl up and go to bed and hope that I don't wake up until 2021. Or I can choose to behave like this is what life is. And so sometime in the middle of the night, my subconscious went to work, and that's how I woke up. I woke up thinking, okay, I'm gonna get a schedule together. I'm gonna look at the kids' calendars. I'm gonna figure out who's going where. I'm gonna make a study space at home. I'm gonna figure out some systems so that my ones that are going in hybrid have a clear understanding. I'm gonna get my act together is basically what happened, because it has not been together recently. I've been in such summer denial that I've not had my act together, and it was showing. So I woke up that way. I woke up like, I'm on it. I'm going to get on it. And even just that little bit of change, I could tell a shift in my kids too. Like, not massive, not anything, but just to like an acceptance of like, oh, okay, we're going back to school. And it may not look the same as we thought. And it may not be what we're expecting, and we may be anxious about it, because look, we're all anxious about it, no matter which one we've chosen, no matter which path we've chosen. And I have 3 kids and we've chosen 3 different paths. We're anxious about it, but it's coming. And so my shift, I could see the difference in my kids' shift as well. It has been in this home, in my home, very tense lately, because I have been very tense. I've been very nervous. I've been second guessing my decisions. I've been in various states of denial versus, anxious overwhelm. And I just decided that I'm not going to do that anymore. And that sounds hokey, because, I hate when people say, I just decided to change my mind. And it's true, I did. And I don't expect that it's going to be permanent. But I do expect, and I don't expect that it's going to be without hiccups, but it is different, and I did choose it. There's no other way to explain it. It didn't just happen. I didn't just wake up and suddenly I have a better attitude. I chose it, and I'll tell you how I know I chose it. Because as soon as I made that decision yesterday morning, my day literally went into the toilet. I was on hold. I had this whole beautiful schedule of things I was going to get done, and then I was on hold with various different organizations and medical agencies that I needed to speak to, literally for a total combined of 2 hours. 2 hours of my day was sitting on hold on a phone, waiting for the next thing to be able to happen, because I needed to do whatever was on the phone in order to move to the next thing. It was not a very productive day, and it was not a day that made me feel very good, and it was not a day that was easy to get through saying things are going to be okay, because they felt anything but okay. But I chose to instead sit down at the end of that day and say, okay, what did I get done? Okay, what was good? Okay, what still needs to happen? Rather than wallow in the, like, I can't believe the ineptitude, and I had those conversations, don't worry. I vented, certainly, but I didn't spend all day there. And so that's how I know it's a choice, because I had to make the choice yesterday to say, all of these things are literally going south right before my very eyes, and I'm still going to decide not to go south with them. I'm going to have a moment, and I'm going to scream and yell at whomever is listening for the moment, but I'm going to come back from that and decide, okay, the next thing that needs to happen is this, and all of this other junk that was bad is okay. I'm going to get through it. And that's kind of what we have to do with the school year. We have to decide that we're going to be what I like to call structurally flexible. You know, I think of like a building that's built for earthquakes, or a building that's built for like a hurricane area. So you know, picture this big, huge, tall, strong building that you're not afraid to be in, that literally goes like this in the wind if it needs to, because it's structurally built that way. I have literally no scientific knowledge at all, but I marvel at engineers and what they're able to do. And I know this is one of the things they're able to do, is build buildings that can withstand major storms. And so I'm kind of thinking of all of us like that right now. We're like a hurricane-proof or an earthquake-proof building. We're strong, we're stable, we have great scaffolding and structure, but if we need to, we can bend in the wind. That's how we're going to have to face this school year. Because if not, everything's going to make us fall over. Or it's just going to slowly chip away until we finally crumble into a pile of dust. So, structurally flexible for me means having a handle on what the calendar looks like at this moment, because I understand that it could change wildly, but sort of getting my lasso around all of the things that I need to be worried about with my kids. And worried about, I don't mean concerned worried, I mean like what I need to keep under, you know, in my view for my kids' schedules, what I need to keep in my view for my work schedule, how those are going to mesh together, with the understanding that that may change. And with that, I'm able to kind of roll with the punches a little bit better. I'm not stuck in something. I'm not constantly having to grieve when I lose things, or when things don't go the way that I think they are going to. There's still a piece. I mean, I've talked about it before. I have 2 kids that are in milestone years of school, and there's a piece of me that's kind of always sad, because it's not going to look like what I'm used to it looking like for kids in these years of school. But I'm really doing my best to say, okay, well, what is it going to look like? And let's celebrate that. So structurally flexible is the name of the game. And I'll come back and sort of tell you what that looks like more concretely. Also, don't forget that if you are looking for some guidance, I have a course. It's called a course. It's really just a few videos. It's a series of videos and some exercises and some journaling prompts called From Chaos to Calm. I'll put the link down in the comments down below. It's super cheap. It's less than a night out to dinner for 4 of you. And it's actually significantly less than a night out for dinner where I live, but it's cheaper than fast food for 4. And it's really just some tools for you, parents, moms specifically, to fortify yourself so that you can provide that structure and flexibility for your kids. All right, structural flexibility, it's the name of the game. I will be back soon to talk about what that looks like, but for right now, just know that you got to make a couple decisions to change your focus and to change the way you're thinking about things and to change what you're focusing on. I hate to talk about mindset, but every once in a while you got to do it. Have a good day.